Welcome to another Fire and Security Chalk Talk. I'm here with my special guest, Adam. Yes, we are. We want to go over a few questions that were asked to us on our chats, going over about best practice and what things. But this episode, what we want to do is go over real world applications, processes, things that we've done in the field that could help you during your design, your installation, false alarm, other stuff for intrusion detection and stuff like that. Let's jump into it. First off, like I said, I want to introduce you to Adam. Adam, how you doing today?
Doing good, John. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm unbelievable. It's another wonderful day in the neighborhood.
It is.
So let's jump into it. Let's see here. When you're meeting with the client and you're doing a risk assessment as you're designing the system, what are you looking for in your threat assessment on things when you're setting things up for the client? What are you looking for?
Well, what I'm looking for is the main thing is hearing the client what he wants first. And once I do that, then I go around and look around and see what's out of place, what's not. And sometimes the customer tries to give you certain things that it might not work. But then you have to explain to him certain ways that it can work, just not in his way, because he, of course, is not a technician. And as technicians, we know more where things supposed to go and where they
Mhm.
can go to work better for the customer. So that's why I would think that helps out a lot.
So mostly design the system towards the occupancy type, right? If it's a
Correct.
business, it's a house, it's an apartment complex, things like that. So you're designing per the occupancy type, right?
Correct. Yeah. So say we're doing a building compared to a home. We know how much can go in a home building. We need to know how many people can be in that building. And that's how we do our sheet and go off of and build that system for that building. So there is two different kind of types from a home to a building. So that's the big thing about that. We want to know how many people can be in that building when we build that system.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. And then that kind of goes right into the device selection. What device are you selecting for that installation? And how do we know that we got the right device for that selection? Similar to different motion detectors or detecting applications like that.
So that's when we all know there's a whole bunch of other motions out there. And so we can give you any motion you want, but we try to build the best motion for the job for you. So, like, if we're doing a home, for instance, I'm not going to install a motion going upstairs because that can catch your dog or it can catch cat. So that wouldn't be the best position for your motion because you get false alarms and all that. So same thing with buildings. I'm not going to put something that can actually give you a false alarm. I'm going to give it the best scenario so you don't get those phone calls and it's going to
Mhm.
catch them in the act. So those are the things that we all look for and try to handle.
Yeah. And so a little bit on these motion detectors. I was under the impression that they have motion detectors that are pet immune and not pet immune, right? And that's kind of what we look at that occupancy type. And we wouldn't want to use a pet immune motion in a business that don't have pets, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that works out exactly perfect. Another part that kind of leads into that is on a traditional wired intrusion detection system, right? We're running a wire from a panel to a door or a panel to a motion or a panel here. On that wiring side of it, do we use resistors in those wirings, in the wiring, and and why do we use resistors?
Well, resistance is good too for the end of the line. Also to check your power voltage too. So there's a lot of reasons why we like to use resistors. They're just I prefer wired motion over wireless motion.
Hmm.
I feel like you can do more with it, and also that they just provide better because you know how we do in wireless that we always have to change batteries here and there every 3 years to 4 years. That's cool and dandy, don't get me wrong, but it's always great to have it hardwired system. I know it's not gonna fail, especially with the resistors and knowing the right voltage and everything and testing it, so that's one big thing for me.
Oh, that's awesome. And that also allows for non-false alarm, stuff
Co
like that, right? It
Correct.
is because we're wired in there, we're pulling power from the panel, things like that that helps it last longer.
You are right.
Awesome. Next one is we want to talk about is programming and commissioning a intrusion detection system, right? Not just zone labeling, but what determines an entry exit to a perimeter, to a night, to a day type zone application, right? We're programming this sensor for an entry exit. Why do we do that?
For entry exit, that you might want to program that for somebody who comes in that zone, wants to come in. So we're going to put all that and build that way. And same thing if somebody's going to exit it too, that we can build it in that zone and it would show that type and then let them go that way too. And what do you think about that one?
No, I like it. I mean, usually the exterior zones like windows or doors that no one really uses, that are emergency exit only, those are going to be like perimeter zones, I would
Mhm.
say. And an entry exit would be the door that people, your staff would come in, or you'd come in your home from, because that's going to put that system in that countdown timer, allowing you to get to the keypad to disarm it and not create a false alarm. So entry exits compared to perimeters to night zones that are only not armed at night while you're sleeping, right? So you would maybe make a glass break detector a night zone. So during the day when you're cooking and you actually drop a dish, you wouldn't set the glass
Yep.
break off. But when you're sleeping, you don't expect anybody to be out there and with dishes or anything like that. So if glass does go off, at night, it's gonna set the alarm off.
And correct. So like for homeowners right now, so say it's nighttime. What are we gonna set it on? We're gonna set it on away or we're gonna set it on stay? We're gonna set it on stay. The reason why it would turn your emotion off. So you can walk freely in your house. But as soon as somebody opens that
Mhm.
window or that door, what is that alarm gonna do, John?
It's gonna go off just
So
like it's supposed to.
that's
Scare the
right.
bad guys away, baby.
Ammo.
Tell them get out of the place. All right. Next one is next question is, you know, user training and operations of the system. How much training do you say a end user or a new customer should have on their system? I mean, how much training is it? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a YouTube video? How much training do you think that someone needs to learn their system so they don't create false alarms?
I do believe in that anybody should always do your research and always get the most knowledge you want and understand that things out there sometimes we don't have time for. But the more knowledge you know, the more it's going to help you. And I do really true and push that, that if I'm going to sell you a security alarm for your home, I don't want to just talk for 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to also educate yourself and go to these videos that we're trying to do so you guys can go back anytime and watch them because there's gonna be some times that we're gonna be busy, that you might need something now or need help, that you can look on these videos that we're trying to teach and try to show you that you can knock it out, boom, instantly. So those are the things that preach more than anything is
Mm,
more knowledge is the best, especially in security. And I'm still learning now, you know, 15 years in, still learning every day. There's always something new to learn. So you can never say you know all of it. No, you always, always, always grow.
yes, and to caveat off that, I believe that's the one of the greatest untold secrets that we have in our industry. When we're educating or we're training or we're teaching, always ask the end user to pull out their mobile device and videotape you doing it, so they could always go back. I mean, that's a little nugget, if you would, when you're doing training. That hey, Mrs. Smith, take your phone out, watch me do it, and if you ever need to, you can refer back to it because we get a lot of customers that don't want to call in. They don't wanna call and say, "Hey, how do you do that?" So they don't wanna feel like they're not intelligent or vice versa, and they don't wanna bother anybody, so they stop using the
Yep.
system and stop being
Yep.
protected. We want you to use it, we want you to stay safe, we want you to be protected because it's your investment, right? It's protecting you and yours. So, always reach out if you have a question. Do put those things in place, like videos, so you can go back and watch it, and a lot of times everything's on our YouTube channels and you things like that. So the videos are out there. So please definitely look into those things. What do you think, Adam?
I think so too, John. That's why we put these videos out there to help. And don't ever feel afraid to call us because you feel embarrassed. Like there's no need to be embarrassed. We're here to help the best that we can, and that's why we make these videos, even if we're not there. And it might be late at night or something that you can just turn on that video, watch it. Oh my gosh, I'm done in 2 seconds, kind of a thing.
Yep.
So don't freak out and don't feel all weird. Give us a call, watch these videos. That's what we do, John.
All right. Perfect. Yep. And next question is from Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you for the question. Maintenance and life cycle of batteries and other things on your system. When should you do maintenance and how often should you do maintenance? And do you do annual inspections? Kind of that, I think that's what Jimmy's getting at, Adam. What do you think on that?
So I believe, here you go, Jimmy, that annual inspection. So it depends on a fire alarm. I say once a year. Security every month. I would go to each of your device and check it to make sure it's clean, dirty, all that stuff, get all the spider webs out, all that stuff, and I would test your system every month on security. Now, fire, I would go probably once a month too. I just go around, check all your devices. I believe fire alarms, we can do walk tests now.
Mhm.
We just have to all of a sudden you have to call us so we can put your system on test for you, but you also can walk it too. But I would say for security wise, that I would definitely do your house once a month. Call us in, we put your system on test and set that bad boy off.
Yep.
Let that bad boy scream for over 10 minutes so you can see everything. So we make sure we're getting everything coming in on our end and you're good to go. So it's not that hard to set your system off real quick and do it every month.
No, I agree 100%. I agree that, fire alarm systems are annually because of code. Intrusion detection, I know that there's some manufacturers that say test weekly, but that could get kind of cumbersome. So testing every week is hard to do sometimes when you got a busy lifestyle. You're out there grinding and taking kids to soccer practice and sports and stuff like that. But yeah, for once a month, I say, hey, it's protecting your family, it's protecting your livelihood, it's protecting your assets. So definitely test it. I mean, take a visual inventory of what you got, if there is any dust, stuff like that. And when we come out for that annual inspection, we definitely want to do an annual inspection from a company
Yeah.
every year, not just fire, but intrusion too. We want to get out there and test it for you. Make sure that your battery voltage is right, your backup battery, because that really protects it, right? On these
It
rolling
does.
blackouts and things that are happening, if your battery is not really functioning and you think you're going to get
Mhm.
24 hours of battery backup,
Yep.
you might only get 4, right? So that's why you have to do inspections, and it's very good. You do your inspections monthly, the team, let the alarm company come out and do an annual inspection every year for you and make sure it works out.
And one thing too, I always want to let you know too, John, let everybody out there knowing that say you have a wireless sensor too, and your kids are going always in and out that door for a very long period of time, off and on, off and on. And some people are like, you know what? Well, I got to replace a battery in a year. Well,
Mm.
sometimes it depends how many times you use it. So if your kids are using over 200 times a day, 300 times a day, that sensor is getting used pretty well.
Yeah.
So that battery life might go down. So I just want to say that out there too.
Yeah. And that's very true. So just in commercial buildings that you said, right? Your back door, if it never gets open, battery might last, 5, 10 years. But that front door that people are keep coming in to get that soft serve ice cream,
Mhm.
is opening hundreds of times a day. Every time it opens, it sends a signal, sends a signal, sends a signal. So yeah, the battery life is going to go a lot faster.
Especially you got me hooked on ice cream now. That sounds
Oh, man,
good.
I'll tell you. Hey, last question from Trayvon is integration with fire life safety, and what's the difference between fire alarm and security alarm, and how do they integrate? If you want, I'll take this one, Adam. I look at it that fire and security are great of an integration for your homes. We don't do a traditional fire alarm system, but we do add smoke detectors, smoke alarms that are integrated into the security system. And for buildings, commercial buildings that don't have a traditional commercial fire alarm system, we can add smoke detection for you to help your insurance. And there's a flood detector out now too, right?
Oh,
Some
yeah, there
wireless
is
flood
yes,
stuff.
there is, John, yep. So the cool thing is, so we had a customer come to us and sad, but they had a flood in their house.
Mm.
And a flood can do a lot of damage and it turns into money. So now we make these flood sensors that we can install with your security system that you can put them under your sink, behind your toilet,
Mm.
anywhere that water can leak from. And instantly when that water hits that floor and it hits that little sensor, automatically you get alerted to let you know, hey, you have a water leak somewhere. You have it on your phone or your devices, computer, whatever you want, and notify you right now what's going on. So now you feel more safe and your home is safe. But also about the alarm side and all
Right.
that, for saying people don't understand sometimes in your homes here that you have basically smoke alarms. Just your basically smoke alarms you have when you build your house.
Mm.
Well, we can actually install smoke rings that go around your smoke detector to set all of them off at the same time, and you get notified. So there's a lot of things that we can do. So that's pretty cool about that one too.
Yeah. So things like that. we don't even notice, right? I mean, you can utilize your traditional 120-volt smoke alarms that you have in your house and integrate it right into the security system just by
Mhm.
adding one ring, right?
That's it.
Man, so see, that's why it's so good to turn into these chalk talks and turn into these things, right?
Yep,
Not just for technicians or designers, but in yours, just get these ideas, man.
that's right.
You never know what you can get up to.
And especially, we love your feedback, so always
Hmm.
keep feeding us back. We will answer the best that we
Oh yeah.
can, and we will always appreciate you. Remember, fire and security, always, we do the best we can to notify you and let you know.
Oh yeah, we're keeping you protected and connected, man. So be blessed today. Thank you for that time. Hopefully we answered everybody's questions. We didn't get to all of them that we wanted to,
Mhm.
but at this time, our time's coming short. So hey, thank you for watching. Be blessed. Adam, thank you for being here
Thank you,
once
John.
again, buddy.
Appreciate you, and you guys be
Thank you.
great.